From the studio in Nitro, West Virginia, this is Unreasonable Doubt. It's a podcast about West Virginia University basketball, and that's my cat in the background. I feel discombobulated, a little off after watching a Mountaineer win. I thought this was a must-win game, and West Virginia is now 1-0 in must-win games. It's early. It is early January. Having a must-win game, not great, but here we are. And if you win the must-win game, that's good. And West Virginia did that. They won 62-60 over Cincinnati. So the battle of 70 was won by West Virginia. West Virginia remains undefeated when their opponent scores less than 70 points. And Cincinnati remains defeated when they don't get the 70 points. Did you watch the game? Do you listen to this podcast and not watch WVU basketball? And I ask that, and shout out to you if you're listening to this and you only consume. It can't be a large population of the audience, but there's got to be at least a few of you that only consume WVU basketball through this podcast. I'm sorry. I'm assuming most of you watched the game. And I asked that because the announced attendance was 9,900. So under 10,000 for the Big 12 home opener. I looked 2 years ago for the Big 12 opener in the season from you-know-where, the interim season. West Virginia had a losing record that year, and it was a Thursday night in January. Was that crowd larger than the announced 9,900 tonight? It was. I find that concerning. This Mountaineer team does not have a losing record. They have a winning record. They won their 10th game tonight. And I don't know what that means. I do find it concerning for the beginning of the Ross Hodge era that the attendance is less in their midweek home opener than the season that they lost to Monmouth and Radford. Anyway, it's a win. See what I mean? I feel like I got off of the tilt-a-whirl and what I was riding in was a little loose. Like the other carriages, they were spinning, not as much as how I feel in what I was spinning in watching that game. If you watch the game, how would you describe that game? More specifically, how would you describe that second half? I mean, I'm going to try. The only way I can do it is to give you what kind of shot WVU got on every offensive possession in the last 8 minutes of the game. So get on the ride, join me. Let's go over these possessions and see if it adds up to a West Virginia win. And it's the last 8 minutes. West Virginia, after being up double digits early in the first half and giving up the lead early in the second half, they have a 6-point lead at the under 8 timeout. And Cincinnati, very good at defense. So that is part of the equation here. But just here's what happened offensively for WVU in the last 8 minutes after the under 8 timeout. The first possession, contested Chance Moore fadeaway in the paint. Very difficult shot, miss. Honor Huff, 3 with 2 guys in his face. That was a miss. Brennan Laurier missed the putback dunk. By my count, Brennan Laurier, who missed the last game, we found out yesterday, as of this recording, the day before the Cincinnati game, that Brennan Laurier sat out due to he was in the concussion protocol. So shout out for him to be able to play. He seemed off, and I'm going out on a limb and saying that he was off because he missed 3 dunks. I've seen Brendan Laureate miss a dunk in a game. 3 is a different territory. Anyways, miss, and miss. Next offensive possession. Brendan Laureate, post up. Ends with a fadeaway in the paint. Clumsy, miss. Honor Huff, driving from the right-hand side. He's 5'10", layup. Cincinnati has Giants blocked off the backboard. Miss. The next possession ends with an open shot, a Trace and Eaglestaff 3. That was a miss. Offensive rebound by Obiaho. We'll get to that in a second. Eaglestaff gets another chance, contested floater, miss. And so no makes. We're in the 5th possession. 6th possession. The ball ends up in DJ Thomas's hands. Freshman DJ Thomas in winning time with a relatively uncontested 3-point shot at the end of the shot clock, top of the key. He misses it. That leads to a transition Cincinnati dunk. No makes. West Virginia now finds itself on the wrong end of an 11-0 run, and they're down 5. Next possession, Chance Moore steal. Gets fouled. Has the 1-on-1, misses the front end. Chance Moore not great at the free throw line. So still no points. So we are down to under 2.5 minutes left to play. I did not say the word make other than to say there wasn't any. And West Virginia has the ball. What is this? The 8th possession since they were up 6, and now they're down 5. And Cincinnati good at defense, but West Virginia is running the shot clock like they had the lead. They're acting like they're not down 5. It's like they're up 7. So shout out for consistency. It was strange to watch. I watched the last 8 minutes again. I'm a glutton for punishment. And like the actions start with like 13 on the shot clock. It's crazy. The ball ends up in Honor Huff's hands, which is a good thing as far as the offensive opportunities. It's good when Honor Huff has the ball. He dribbles to his left, shoots a contested 3. So contested, in fact, that he was fouled, and he makes the 3. Now, is that a hard shot? Yes. Have we seen Honor Huff make that shot? We sure have. He can make shots. Did not make a ton in Iowa State. Made him tonight. That was a big 3. Chance for a 4-point play. Missed the free throw. So West Virginia's down 2. And they're still in this because they start getting stops defensively. Now, that's a formula as well. Some of that is West Virginia playing good defense. Some of that is Cincinnati not taking great shots. Regardless, they're getting stops. West Virginia, fresh off a offensive outpouring, contested Honor Huff 3. They're dribbling the clock down again. Eaglestaff gets the ball on the right side, loses his dribble. Bearcat all over him. A few pivots, shot clock running down. Let's call it a contested fadeaway 3. Almost out of bounds. If this game was in Cleveland, Ohio, Eaglestaff would have been out of bounds. But he was in bounds, shot the shot, contested, and we have not seen Chase and Eaglestaff make this shot. And to be fair, few people that play basketball makes a contested fadeaway 3 near the sideline. And it's nothing but net. Eaglestaff makes that shot. An extremely difficult shot. Some would say lucky, but it goes in. And West Virginia, they're in the 300s in Ken Pomeroy's luck ranking. You got to, shout out to head coach Neil Brown. Things need to even out. And that was a luck even out play. And now West Virginia somehow has the lead. They go from many empty possessions to 2 contested 3-point shots that go in, and they have the lead. None of those offensive possessions, as described, are promising. They didn't lead to good looks. 1 open shot, 1 shot of a freshman at the top of the key. Again, Cincinnati's really good at defense. But as I've described these into the microphone, these offensive possessions, that usually doesn't add up to a win against anybody. But 2 difficult threes and West Virginia getting stops, that's a lead. They get 2 more stops, make 4 free throws, and now West Virginia's up 5 with under 20 seconds left. And somehow Cincinnati, off a WVU turnover with less than 2 seconds left, has a shot. It's not a great shot. It's near half court, but Cincinnati gets a shot off at the buzzer that would have won the game if it went in. It ricocheted off the backboard. It was crazy, gross, beautiful, ugly basketball. Those last 8 minutes especially. But that all led to Ross Hodges' first Big 12 win. Have you ever searched yourself online? I've done it. I haven't liked what I've seen. The results can be surprising and sometimes unsettling. Your phone number, your home address, even details about your family are out there, whether you agreed to it or not. That's because data brokers are collecting and selling your information to marketers, scammers, and basically anyone willing to pay. Aura fights back. They remove your personal data from broker sites and keep it off. Aura also alerts you fast if your information shows up in a breach or on the dark web. And if your identity is ever stolen, you are backed by up to $5 million in insurance and 24/7 US-based fraud support to help you recover quickly. Right now, you can try Aura free for 14 days when you visit aura.com/remove. That is enough time for Aura to start removing your personal information from data broker sites. Sign up today at aura.com/remove and get the peace of mind that your privacy, identity, and finances are safeguarded. That's aura.com/remove. Certain terms apply. See the site for details. And West Virginia gets a win against a bottom half of the Big 12 Cincinnati team, despite Jasper Floyd playing 26 minutes and not attempting a shot. I mean, Jasper Floyd's offensive performance, that was a season low. Just bad turnovers. He had 3. He should have had more. Again, no shot attempts. Rough watch for Floyd. West Virginia wins despite the starting center not scoring a point. This was the 15th game of the season. Obioha has not scored twice in 15 games. So Obioha and Floyd goose egg in the box score. So 2 of your 5 starters didn't score. Another starter is coming out of concussion protocol and missed 3 dunks. He had 2 points. So you start 5 guys. 3 of those guys scored a combined 2 points. And you win. That is amazing. Or fill in the blank of whatever you want to describe that. And shout out to King McClure, back on the call after Obiaho and the play-by-play announcer is saying his name correctly right beside King McClure. And I appreciated King pivoting and trying to call Harlan the Big O. But later in the game, he could not avoid mispronouncing Harlan's name. Obiaho. Once again, he's there, mispronouncing Harlan's name. Great unintentional comedy. West Virginia won despite being -8 in turnovers, despite being -10 in points off turnovers, despite giving up 12 threes, despite a Cincinnati play where their bad pass ricochets off a guy's hand and into the basket, despite multiple lapses on defense to a team that's not good on offense. That's a bad offensive Cincinnati team. They are offensive on offense, and they made 12 threes, and a lot of them in the second half. And once again, West Virginia not being able to hold on to a double-digit lead or a lead that's more than one possession late in the game. And I described all those stagnant offensive possessions. Not a lot of plays ran late in this game. And despite all of that, West Virginia's in the win column. They've played 2 Big 12 games, and they've won one of them. And they remain undefeated at home. Eagle staff, good plays on both sides of the court. He grabbed 7 rebounds. Honor Huff, I talked about, if you're going to lose by 22, miss those threes and have a rebound game, and he did, especially in the first half. Honor Huff, listed 5'10", led the Mountaineers in rebounds by himself. So he led in scoring and he led in rebounding. On a team that has a 7-footer and 6'9" guy and 6'8" guys, and everybody's taller than Honor Huff. And for Honor Huff to lead this team in rebounding, I don't know what that means, but you got to give, you know what? I'm going to give credit to Honor Huff, smallest guy on the court, leading the Mountaineers in rebounding. Chance Moore did Chance Moore things again. Cincinnati very good at defense. It didn't matter. When that one play that Chance Moore, he gets it at the rim. It's not even close to going in, gets the rebound, finishes. I love the Chance Moore, I'm going to score 2 points at the rim move. It's tried and true. I love watching it. DJ Thomas, as much as I don't like a freshman having a shot in winning time, he's getting good reps, making some big shots, including a 3 before that in the second half. Amir Jenkins, the other freshman, quality minutes, only 1 turnover in his 20 minutes of play tonight. The way Jasper Floyd is playing, will that minutes discrepancy change, and will we see more minutes from Amir Jenkins? It seems like it's going that way. You just can't have a performance like Jasper Floyd had. And Jasper Floyd was sitting a lot late in the game, but was in at the end and turned the ball over. It's fine. It's fine. Everyone can have a bad game. Honor Huff, who was great tonight, had a bad game against Iowa State. It's fine. It's fine. But Amir Jenkins, quality basketball, freshman, had a scary shoulder thing in the first half, but came back, played, took care of the ball. And when you have a must-win game in early January and you win it, that's good. Not great for my health, because I'm still invested in the possibility of West Virginia getting to the postseason. So not good from a cardiology standpoint, from a heart health standpoint. But what that also means is that when you have a must-win game in early January, there's more must-win games to come. But on paper, tonight, West Virginia, for their resume, gets their best win of the season. Now, what does that mean if your best win of the season is against Wes Miller, who I watched West Virginia play last year and thought, how is he still gainfully employed at UC? And he's again here this year. And maybe maybe Cincinnati's got a good thing with Wes Miller. Maybe he needs to come back next season. You know what? Give Wes Miller a contract extension. I see the potential in Wes Miller. So what does that mean if the best wins against Wes Miller? I don't want to answer that. Also, shout out to Sincere Harris. Missed that guy. Good to see him in the Hope Coliseum. Was I pleased that Sincere Harris took the most shots for Cincinnati in the first half? I don't have to answer that either. And while I'm concerned about the number of announced people in the Hope Coliseum, shout out to them. They got loud when they needed to be late in the game. Very little warm and fuzzies in the must-win win. But of the options, I would rather West Virginia win a must-win versus not. Unreasonable Doubt is under the Smoking Musket umbrella. Go to smokingmusket.com. Read posts about WVU sports, daily throwdown. Check that out. Go to the Discord,
We're talking about WVU sports and other stuff on the Smoking Musket Discord. Link for that is in the show notes. Listen to West by Pod, the WVU football podcast under the Smoking Musket umbrella. Do all that stuff. Smoking Musket.
The next game for WVU is Saturday, noon, Hope Coliseum, network television, Fox. The big noon kickoff, the big noon jump ball. West Virginia will play the Kansas Jayhawks. We're familiar with the Jayhawks' work. They're a blue blood. They are ranked. However, this is not your father's Kansas. They are ranked, but they are 1-1 in Big 12 play, just like West Virginia. They won their home game and they lost their road game. They lost in Orlando to Central Florida. Tonight, they were playing the Horned Frogs at home. They were down 16 with 11 and a half minutes left. Somehow, and you do the math, somehow got it to overtime and ended up beating TCU, a game where both teams scored over 100 points. Kansas has an awesome freshman guard, Darren Peterson. He's really good at basketball. It looks like when he shoots the ball, it's going in every time. Unfortunately, Darren Peterson having a hard time staying on the floor. Hamstring, nagging injury. Tonight was only his 6th played game of the season. And he was sitting late in this game because of the injury. Badunga is still there. He's a presence inside, really good at basketball. And then Kansas got a whole bunch of other new guys. They are in the portal business. And business has been not great for Bill Self. They scored 104 tonight. Only 7 came from the bench. But would I want West Virginia playing Kansas off of a comeback win versus a loss at home and being 0-2 in the Big 12 and coming to Morgantown to get their first Big 12 win? I would rather them win tonight. Congrats to the Jayhawks. Another top 10 Ken Pomeroy defense coming to Morgantown. They're coming off a miracle comeback win. West Virginia is coming off a comeback win. And West Virginia, since Bob Huggins has left, West Virginia is undefeated against the Kansas Jayhawks. Yeah, you heard me right. Shout out to Josh Eilert. Shout out to Pat Sumnick. The Pat Sumnick game 2 years ago. The win in Allen Fieldhouse to start Big 12 play last season. So West Virginia 2-0 since Bob Huggins has left against Kansas. Can West Virginia make it 3 in a row against the Kansas Jayhawks with a third different head coach? We'll find out. That's it for this episode of Unreasonable Doubt. Listen on all the platforms or just pick one. Apple Podcasts, Overcast Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Pocket Cast Podcasts, YouTube. Until next time, I'm Josh Witt, WVU for the 2025-2026 season. They have 10 wins and they have 5 losses.